about all I can do. That's the best thing. Can I just tell you, I have heard a lot of accents in my life. Australia, New Zealand, Ireland, everywhere, and I love the Scottish accent the best. I love it. When you guys come up to talk to me, I just go, just keep talking, say something, anything. I'll listen. I'm so glad to be here with you guys. I've always wanted to come to this country, so thank you for having me and thank you for being here. Real quick, before we get to our little Q&A time, I want to tell you, I played a couple of cuts from a brand new live concert DVD that I have. And the reason I'm excited about it, beyond all of the fun music and everything, is there's something very special on this DVD. Shortly after we started recording Fullmetal Alchemist, I got all excited and I turned into kind of a fan myself. And I got together with some of the other voice actors and we made something called Fullmetal Fantasy. How many of you have seen Fullmetal Fantasy? Not many of you, right? Well, for those of you that are wondering what it is, let me just say, the voice actors cosplay as their characters. So just let that image roll around in your mind for a minute. It's something that we made during Full Metal that very, very few people have ever seen. It's never been online, it's never been available. I only used to show it at conventions. But after I made the concert DVD and I was looking for something to put on the concert DVD to make it kind of extra special, I thought, you know what, maybe it's time that we put Fullmetal Fantasy out there for you guys to enjoy. So I brought the brand new live concert DVD with me that includes Fullmetal Fantasy, great music. How many of you have ever heard of a show that was on years ago called Star Search? This was way before like American Idol. You guys know American Idol. Star Search was a big talent competition before American Idol. And I was actually a contestant on Star Search in 1993. I know, you're like, I wasn't even born then. But I also decided as a bonus feature to go ahead and put the Star Search appearance on the concert DVD as well. Because you guys just have to see it to appreciate what a nerd I was. I had a mullet, and I wore a purple double-breasted suit. So yeah, I was pretty weird. But I have those at my table, and I'm going to be signing as long as possible today because I want to meet as many of you as I possibly can. So as soon as I'm done here, I'll be back over at the table, so come by and say hello, and I'll look forward to seeing you guys. I want to take as much time to answer questions, talk to you guys about anything you want to talk about. So this kind gentleman is going to come out into the audience, and I probably am too, because it's boring up there. I want to come down and talk to you guys. So, do you want to pick somebody?
I got a lady right next to me, actually.
What voice did you like doing the best?
What voice did I like doing the best? Well, you know what? For the longest time, I was always afraid to answer that question. Because usually when somebody asks me that, they have a character in mind. You know what I mean? Like if I were to ask Winry here, if Winry came to me and said, what's your favorite character? In her mind, she's going, I hope he says Ed. I hope he says Ed, right? So if I say to her, oh, my favorite's Tamaki, Winry may go, ooh, darn it, stupid Vic. But, you know, somebody else might like Zero. Somebody else might like Tamaki. Somebody else might like Ikaku, or who knows. So I was always afraid to answer that question until we finished recording Brotherhood. And when we finished Brotherhood, I could no longer deny that little pipsqueak was my favorite. So I have to tell you, Full Metal is my favorite, but Tamaki is a very close second place. Oh, I love me some Tamaki Suo. I love Tamaki. Yes.
Yep. And I have a lady.
And here comes Winry.
I'm not very tall, so my mum used to say that good things come in small packages.
That's for damn sure.
Ed's opinion, if you would say that phrase for me.
Good things come in small packages. And of course, short is the new tall. Everybody knows that. Yes.
Hey, can you use Broly's voice to say Kakarot as reference?
Oh, Broly. Do you guys ever have nightmares? Broly is my nightmare. Whenever I have a nightmare, he's in it. Because that guy Broly is so hard on the voice that I usually will pay people not to make me talk like Broly. Like if they're like say Kakarot, I'll be like, here's $5. Please don't make me say Kakarot. I'll do this just very quietly, just for you. Ready? Kakarot, let's be friends. Okay, I'm gonna pick somebody here. Use. One more time, a little louder. Oh my God, did you hear that? Of all the anime I've been in, what would I love to see another season of? That's the easiest question that'll ever be asked. Ouran High School House Club. Can I tell you something? If I were rich, I would make another Ouran High School myself. I would do it. I would totally do it. If I had enough money, because how many of you read the manga? The manga kept going, and the manga's awesome. If I had the money, I would totally finance the making of another Ouran High School, like Ouran College Host Club. No, it wouldn't be Ouran anymore. It would have to be like the Harvard University Host Club, something like that. I love that. Yes.
Question here.
Me and my friends, we all come from South Wales.
Hi.
We started with a Star Trek.
She just said Star Trek.
And about 2 weeks ago, I showed them the Pilgrim of Eternity.
You did?
I'm just gone crazy over it.
If I could get to you, I would hug you right now. I love you. Did they enjoy it?
They're just obsessed with it.
Oh my gosh. Did anybody watch it here just a little while ago? I heard it. I was over there signing, and I could hear the sound, and I'm like, oh, that's right where, I know exactly where they are in the episode. For those of you that are wondering what we're talking about, my particular fascination when I was a little boy was Star Trek. I loved the original series of Star Trek more than life itself. Captain Kirk, Mr. Spock, Dr. McCoy, they were my guys. I used to make my own costumes and go to Star Trek conventions dressed as Captain Kirk. I love Star Trek. So about 2 years ago, I got together with some friends, and you know what we did? We got a big building down in Florida, and we rebuilt all of the original soundstage, all of the sets from the original TV series, and then I cast a brand new web series called Star Trek Continues. I want you to go home and look it up. Will you do that? That's easy to remember, right? Star Trek Continues. How many of you know Mythbusters? Grant Imahara from Mythbusters plays Sulu in my new series. And we've got all kinds of great characters, and I get to fulfill my childhood dream of playing Captain Kirk. So our first episode is online right now. It's called Pilgrim of Eternity. And it actually features an actor from the original series who played a character 45 years ago. And he's playing the same character. He's reprising his character in our episode. So we are very excited about Star Trek Continues. Thank you for mentioning that, sweetie. Thank you.
No, don't
Yes.
cut my shot. No, I hate everything. I like everything.
Close.
What's your favorite horror school character?
My favorite Moron character. Oh, that's so easy. Oh, besides Tamaki, no. You know what? You know who my favorite is? It's funny that you should be hugging Usa-chan, because my favorite is Honey Senpai. And you know why? I think I love Honey the most because Lucy Christian does such an amazing job playing Honey. Every time I would hear her talk, I just had to giggle. Like when I was recording, I was listening, I could hear in my earphones anybody that had already recorded. And anytime she had already recorded, whenever I would hear Honey talk, I would go, I love her so much. I love her.
And we're off to the side over here.
Oh yes.
What made you want to start doing voice acting?
Well, you know what, sweetheart? People often ask me how I got started voice acting. I really have no idea. Or when I decided I wanted to be a voice actor. You guys, the truth is, I never planned on being a voice actor. Ever since I was very, very young, I was acting. I'd get into theater, church programs, school plays, community theater, anything I could do to develop my skills as an actor. I always loved acting. Stage acting, camera acting, any kind of acting. So when somebody came to me and said, hey, would you like to try voice acting? I thought, hey, why not? It's got the word acting in it. That may be fun. So I went and auditioned for a company, and I had no idea what to expect. And the first role I ever played was Vega in Street Fighter 2. And then I just kept doing it, and I never expected that it would ever grow into what it has become, but I love it. I love it. And for those of you that are interested in voice acting, let me just tell you the best thing you can do to prepare to be a voice actor is to get as much training as you can as an actor. Acting is the key word in voice acting. All the voice actors I know have an enormous amount of experience in acting. So that would be my suggestion to you. Let's see, hold on. Hi. What's your name?
Carolyn.
Hello, Carolyn. What's your question?
I'm going to tell you about you voice act Grease. How did you get the part?
You know how I got the part of Greece? Because I didn't get the part of Italy. You know what? I gotta tell you guys something. I wanted to play Italy so bad. You know why? I mean, I got a couple of really good reasons. Number one, I'm Italian! I thought that was a good reason. I mean, hey, I know pasta. Believe me. Pasta! Second reason. Do you know the Japanese voice actor who played Italy also played a character named Phi in Tsubasa? And I played Phi. So I'm like, I have to play Italy. So I did my best, but I didn't get cast. But I got to play Greece, and I love Greece. And there is Greece right here on the floor beside me with your beautiful cat ears.
Yay!
You're beautiful. Question?
Question over here still from Gemma.
Could you say Edward Elric's opinion on Colonel Mustang?
Well, let's start with you. What's your opinion of Colonel Mustang?
He's better than Ed.
Now there's a way to get thousands of people chasing you.
I don't even know how to respond to that. Well, I would be happy to donate to your therapy. Because clearly you've got some mental issues there. Anybody that thinks that Colonel Mustang is better than Ed has serious problems. You know, the show is called Fullmetal Alchemist, not Flame Alchemist. And there's a reason. You know what? I love Roy Mustang. The truth is, it's a great character. And when people ask me if I didn't get to play Ed, who would I like to play? I would love to have played Colonel Mustang. I mean, obviously, he wouldn't sound like Ed, you know, it'd be more like this kind of little, you know, deeper character like that. I love dogs. Loyal canine, how we salute thee. I love Colonel Mustang, but you know what? Travis did an amazing job as Colonel Mustang. So today, in Glasgow, Scotland, I am not going to say anything bad about Colonel Mustang. All right? Yes?
If you were to get your hands on an actual philosopher's stone, what would you do with it?
Ooh. If I could get my hands on an actual philosopher's stone, what would I do with it? I would use its power to change this guy's mind over here. So that he would, next time I see him, he would be cosplaying as Edward Elric, and he'd be telling everybody that Ed's the best. No, what would you do with it? I know, it's a tough one, right? Think about it. I'll come back to you. Yes?
Now a question here from an aptly dressed person.
Who is your favourite voice actor to work with?
Who's my favorite voice actor to work with? Well, you know what, you guys? It may surprise you to know that we don't actually work together. Did you know that? When you're voice acting, you usually record alone. Which means that all of the people that are in the shows with me, we don't ever record at the same time. Which also means that you could conceivably do an entire show and never meet the people that you're working with. In fact, I'll tell you what, guess who I've never met? Of all the shows that I've done, guess there's one woman who I've never met, and she played my mom. She played Trisha Elric in Fullmetal Alchemist, and I've never met her. My mom, right? How sad is that? But we don't really ever get to record together. So the only chance to get to know each other is when we do conventions together. Now, I've had the chance to meet a lot of the voice actors, most of them, and I love them all. Some of my favorites would be Caitlin Glass, who plays Haruhi and Winry. My goodness, so many. Todd is a good dear friend. Travis, Laura, Colleen, Mike McFarlane, Yuri Lowenthal, Johnny Bosch, Monica Rial. The list is long. I should not even try to make a list because I'll forget people. But I love all the people I get to do work with. And you know what's funny, you guys? I have to tell you something funny. Even though you don't work together, you spend so much time listening to these people's voices in your ear that you feel like you know them. So the first time I ever met Aaron Dismuke, for instance, Aaron played Al in the first Fullmetal Alchemist. We had already been halfway through the series before I ever met Aaron. And when I met him, I ran up to him and I was like, "Brother!" And I terrified the little boy. He was only 12 years old. And he was like, "Help! Stranger danger! Who is this weird guy hugging me?" But I felt like I already knew him. You know what I mean? I'd heard his voice so much. I kind of took him on as my little brother. So I was so excited to meet him. So that's the way it is with a lot of voice actors. Even when you meet them for the first time, you feel like you know them. You feel like you've met them before.
And another question for this person at the front.
Is there any anime that you've not had the chance to voice act in that you really wish that you had the chance to?
There's a show coming up that I would love to be a part of. I don't know if I'll get to. I will certainly do my best. I mean, I'll audition, and then I'll just hope for the best, right? Maybe you guys can all send some good vibes out my way, okay? The show is called Attack on Titan.
Huh? No.
Well, I'm going to play Aaron. I want to just be in it. I'll play anything. I'll play Titan. But you guys, will you do me a favor? If you happen to be on any websites where you're blogging and typing and stuff, and there's any discussion about Attack on Titan, I want you to tell them. Will you do that for me?
I will.
Please?
I will.
Say, oh my God, OMG. Vic should be in Attack on Titan so bad. Alright? Yay! Okay.
Okay, we have something, sorry to disturb you later. We have to do a channel announcement. So, I believe.
This is a general announcement. Helen, please Vic Mignogna of the leading platform of the event. Helen, the government,
There we are. Important security announcement, apparently. There we are, right. Next question. Yeah, yours should be on.
There it is. Helen, meet Dominic! Helen! Dominic's waiting for you at the information desk! Run!
That's better than the one they did.
Well, it's just more terrifying. Who's that kid screaming for Helen? Yes, do you have a question?
Yep, we have a question here.
I've got a question. See, what did you prefer to do with what did you enjoy more doing, Naruto Shippuden or Bleach?
Before I answer your question, I want you to do something for me. I want you to give me your best Batman voice. You earned that shirt. You earned it. You know what? I really enjoy Bleach. I enjoy Bleach, I think, more than Naruto, but only because Ikaku, my little bald friend from Bleach, I enjoy that voice because it's a little different from my own. So I really enjoy getting to play characters that, you know, have a little bit of a different voice than my own. So I'm gonna have to say Bleach. Okay, yes.
I'm a big fan of
Junpei, yeah.
And I always, the big fan thing where they always wanted to have a match up with Junpei. I always wondered, did they ever look for a possibility when they're voice acting where they're going to be a match up with Junpei?
I think that would be wonderful. I'd love it. I would love it. I heard that there's a Persona movie coming out, and Junpei's in it. So, hey, if Junpei's in it, I will be camped out on the front door of the studio because I love Junpei. Yes?
Question from right here.
Was it hard to make that transition from like a high-pitched like it to like a low voice like example?
Was it hard? Actually, that's one of the fun things about voice acting. One of my favorite things is for people not to know it's you. You know, one of the most fun things you can, if you want to compliment a voice actor, tell them next time you meet somebody that comes over, tell them that, like, pick some character that they played that you didn't know it was them, and tell them, like, oh my gosh, I had no idea that was you. That's like one of the biggest compliments, because people can recognize our normal voice pretty easily. But when you change it, you use a different kind of a voice, it's always a lot of fun to play characters like that. And that's one of the reasons that I enjoyed Ikaku so much, because for several weeks after it started being broadcast on television, people didn't know that it was me. So that was kind of, I enjoyed that. I enjoyed that a lot. Okay, let's see, my turn, right? Yes, my dear.
What is your favorite anime that you've been in?
My favorite anime that I've never been in. Well, you know what? When I was little, there was an anime that I watched all the time. I used to even imitate the voices. I had no idea that I would ever be a voice actor in anime. But when I was your age, I was watching Speed Racer all the time. And I was, you know, imitating the voices, and I knew it didn't look like regular cartoons, you know? It was different. It didn't look like Bugs Bunny. It didn't sound like Scooby-Doo, but I really enjoyed it. I didn't even know it was anime. But if I could be in an anime that I've never been in, I would love to be in Speed Racer. You know what else? I'd love to have been in Death Note. But you know what the problem is? Death Note was recorded in Canada. Which means that if you're not, hey big man, which means if you're not in Canada, you're not allowed to record on it. Did you have a question? What is it?
What was your favorite manga color?
My favorite manga? What's your favorite manga?
Mine says Bleach.
You're a Bleach man? Is it a good manga?
I got the 2 episodes of it. I need to find now.
Have you seen the bald guy running around? The bald Soul Reaper?
I've seen the one when the Soul Reapers has a wee bag on the leg and he punches a puppet out in a summer puppet.
Now, what's your name? You know what I find interesting? I think it's interesting that we're talking about Bleach and you're wearing a Naruto headband. What's your favorite Naruto character?
Naruto.
Can you say believe it?
What?
Say believe it!
Believe it!
Yeah! It's cool. Yes.
Yep, a question from a lady, person in front.
There's a girl sitting next to me that you said you liked your nurse signing, and I wanted to know, did you like her necklace?
Where is she? Oh, with the cool hair? Oh my gosh, I love your hair. She came up to the table and I'm like, I love your hair. Yes, absolutely. And I loved her necklace too. Absolutely. And there was somebody else here. Where is she? Oh, there she is. I remember seeing her with her awesome blue hair. I want to color my hair weird colors too. I think it's awesome. Question. How about you?
Can you put your significant future in film as opposed to
What exactly should Tamaki say?
I don't know, anything that we should remember.
Well, there's one thing I can remember. What's your name?
Sally.
Sally. What if I let you drink this commoner's coffee? From my mouth. Question.
Robbie,
Okay, we're trading now. We're trading.
I have I'm not sure whether it's the skull I'll put the microphone to or the other one, but we have Deadpool.
Lord, come on, that's Starscream, come on. Can I say no? What do you think of the healthcare?
I have no idea.
I have no idea what you just said! You dare talk back to Lord Commander Starscream?
I just want to hear you talk.
I beg you. You're welcome!
What was your question, my friend?
What do you think of the healthcare?
What do I think of the health care? Is that what you said?
Yes.
What health care?
I don't know anywhere. I'm from Cybertron.
Wow, this tops the surreal list for me.
That's really strange. Starscream, are you getting good health care? There's something growing out of your head.
You might want to have a doctor look at that. Oh, it's like a confused into my head. I cannot get it off. Get a doctor. We're Soundwave. We're Soundwave to get in.
Okay. Random question from Starscream. Yes.
We have a question from this gentleman here.
It's a lot of games, but do you actually have any games that you play regularly yourself?
You know, I don't get to play video games very much. I'm sorry to say. I know, that's sad, right? You're gonna laugh when I tell you what the last video game I ever played was. Donkey Kong Jr. I swear, it's been so long since I played a good video game. The ones nowadays that are like all 3D and you're like flying through things and stuff, they make me kind of sick. Wow, I know I'm not in a rocket ship right now, but I feel like I am. What's your favorite game? What's your favorite game? Is Pokemon a good game? You know, I am very excited to be a part of the Pokemon universe now. I played the lead in the new Pokemon movie. I played Keldeo! Yay! I love Keldeo. He's like a My Little Pony on steroids. Yes.
Do you have a question? No?
Hey, go to the gymnast next. Go Go to the circus team.
You're not making me run.
Cirque du Soleil! They're yelling.
Sorry, before these guys call themselves.
While you're working your way over there,
Okay, yeah, question?
Hey, can you please sing happy birthday to my friend Leah?
Where's Leah?
Leah!
Leah! Is it you right here? Hey, Leah. Come up here. Leah. What's your friend's name back there? Chris. Oh, Craig, you embarrassed her. Good job. Leah, how old are you? 17 years old today?
Yeah.
Okay, we're all gonna, have you ever been sung happy birthday to by about, I don't know, 600 people?
No.
It's gonna happen! Here, stand up on the stage for me. Stand up here. Stand tall, stand proud. Everybody, we're gonna sing to Leah. You ready? Don't forget her name. When you get to the part, happy birthday, dear. Leah, ready? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Leah. Happy birthday, dear Leah. Happy birthday to you.
Here we go. Little birthday present for myself. There we are, and yeah, I think you might want that.
What? She gets all that. It's my birthday too.
There we are. There's a bag as well.
How do we end up in the same place? We ended up in the same place?
I don't know. I'm gonna walk over here.
I don't know. Excuse me. Excuse me, pardon me. I'm with her. Excuse me, pardon me. I know Leah. Excuse me. I got somebody here.
Do you have any funny booth stories?
Do I have any funny booth stories? There should be a whole separate panel called Booth Stories. I have a lot of funny booth stories, but they are rather embarrassing. I mean, who stands up here with a microphone and humiliates themselves? Me, right? Funny booth story, funny booth story, funny booth story. You know what? I always end up telling funny booth stories on other people. Like their funny booth stories. Let me think, what's a funny booth story? You know, one time I was recording and I took a cup of coffee into the booth with me. It was early in the morning, and so I took in this cup of coffee and I was holding it in my hand while I was recording. And I was doing this line. I was being all serious. And I moved real quick and I spilled the coffee and I was doing my lines. Ow! And that scared the daylights out of the engineer and the director. They're like, what happened? I was like, nothing. So they had no idea. And then there was coffee on the floor and it smelled like coffee. Because the recording booth is like a phone booth. It's like a TARDIS with padding on the inside. It's not bigger on the inside, I promise you. And so you don't want to spill anything in there because it just smells all day like coffee. Yes?
Everybody hip.
Apart from Fullmetal, what shows are finished now that I wish there were more of? So I was really getting kind of sad. And I actually took my phone out and I put it in video recording and I sat it on the window and recorded that line because I wanted to like record having the last line of Fullmetal. And it's actually on YouTube. You can even see it on YouTube. I put it up online. But Boron High School, also Vampire Night, I really loved. Tsubasa, I'd love for there to be more Tsubasa. I heard there was going to be more Fullmetal Panic, but I don't know. I just, you know, I love all the things I get to do. So it makes me sad whenever any of them are over, because I really enjoy them. Where are you? Yes.
Right at the back?
Yes. Oh my gosh. Favorite line from Full Metal? Oh, well, gosh, there are so many. By the way, I've never seen an Edward Elric with a hollow mask. That is the coolest thing ever. And a keyblade. Wow, you're just like a big orchestra of different animes rolled together. There were so many really good lines from Full Metal. I mean, everybody loves the short rants. People like it when it freaks out. But I always tend to like the quieter ones. For me, I enjoyed like when Ed was talking with his brother quietly, or with the emotional moments. I love those. But there was one yelling line that I really enjoyed. Do you guys remember the episode in the first series when Ed was fighting Roy? Remember that? It was called Fullmetal versus Flame. And Ed's out on the battlefield getting ready to fight Mustang. And he says to Alphonse, he's like, "This is a great day, Al. The day I get to punch him in the face, he gets some damn respect." And Alphonse says, "What's your strategy, brother?" And Ed goes, "I told you! A fist in his face!" That's my favorite. That's one of my favorites. Yes.
Question from Eyewinner.
Oh, wait a minute. Here, hold on. Here's a text message from Italy. I'm gonna write back. Hey. That's great. Go for it.
My friend has lost her voice, so I'm asking her a question. She wants to know how you feel about the Oran High School bloopers.
Waiting for you, the Oran House Club.
I love bloopers. We have so much fun doing it. You guys, a lot of times they won't let us do. You'll never hear the bloopers. A lot of times the companies that own the anime, they don't want any bloopers on the DVDs. Because some of the companies feel like it's making fun of their show. You know what I mean? Which of course it's not. But there are some companies that take the shows very, very seriously. And so they don't want you like having the characters say things they wouldn't normally say, or having them mess up, or use profanity, or whatever a voice actor does in a blooper. So that's why you don't get to see a lot of bloopers. Every once in a while, they'll let us do bloopers. So we got to do them for Oran. We had so much fun getting to do them. And we didn't even realize they were keeping them until about halfway through the series. And then when you realize they're keeping them, then you start wanting to think of fun things to do as a blooper, because people are actually going to hear it. There's no point recording a blooper when you know nobody's going to hear it, right? So you may be recording and you think of something really funny you want you to say, and you think like, well, why do it? Because nobody's ever going to hear it. But when we knew they were going to be used bloopers on Oran, we tried to come up with some fun stuff.
Okay, we got time over to so I know. This is the last question we got time for.
Last question.
I know.
I want you to know, guys, that this is my favorite time getting to talk with you, and I'm really bummed out that it was only half an hour. That's really unfortunate. But that just means you guys have to come over to the table and say hi, okay? So, yes.
Okay, the final question.
Who is your favorite female anime character in the series you've been in so far?
Are you asking me if I have the hots? If I'm turned on by a female anime character? Is that what you're asking me? I want to know who your favorite is. Oh, good choice. You know what? gotta tell you, I love Winry Rockville. I gotta tell you, I love me some Winry. But you know what else? There's another show that I did. I don't even know if you guys even know this show. But there was another show that I did that was on Cartoon Network called Kakaishi. You guys know Kakaishi? Yay! I love you. Look at you with your manga. Tokine. I love Tokine from Kakaishi. It was a great character too. So, thank you for having me. You guys, I am so glad you're here. Thank you for coming. Thank you for making the MCM first year in Scotland. You guys made this a huge success. And I am honored to be a part of it. So I'll be here for the rest of the day. I look forward to seeing you all over at the table. Thank you guys. I love you.